Coming to you live is the Flu Point newscast. My name's Georgia Fluman, and I support the USA.
And mine's Malverina Point, and I support the USSR. It all starts in 1957 when the USSR first launches Sputnik 1, and then closely follows up with Sputnik 2, which carries a small dog into orbit.
Then, in 1958, Explorer 1, the first American satellite to reach orbit. Afterwards, the Vanguard 1 satellite is launched. It continues to function for 3 years.
And then Sputnik 3 is launched.
NASA replaces NACA afterwards. Then Pioneer 1 is launched to a height of 70,700 miles.
In 1959, Luna 1 is the first man-made object to orbit the Sun.
Afterwards, Pioneer 4 is launched on an Earth-Moon trajectory. It passed within 37,000 miles of the Moon before falling into a solar orbit.
Luna 2 is then launched and is the first to impact the Moon that was man-made.
Next, 1960, U.S. launches the first ever weather satellite into the sky, TIRAS-1. Afterwards, the U.S. launches Discovery 14, which is the first camera spy satellite.
Then, in 1961, the USSR gives Yuri Gagarin the privilege of being the first man to orbit Earth and the first man in space.
Not far behind, Alan B. Shepard is the first American man in space. Then, in 1962, Mariner 2 flies past Venus and goes into a solar orbit.
Also in 1963, Valentina Tereshchuk becomes the first woman in space for the USSR.
Then, 1964, Ranger 7 transmits the first close-range images of the Moon.
Then again, in 1965, Alexia Leonova spends 12 minutes outside of the Bolshevik spacecraft performing the first spacewalk.
Not far behind, Gus Grissom and Young fly the first manned Gemini spacecraft. Then, Ed White performs America's first spacewalk.
Venus 3 is launched and it becomes the first man-made object to impact on Venus.
Then, Walter Schirra and Thomas Stafford and their Gemini 6 spacecraft make the first space rendezvous until Gemini 7.
Then in 1966, Luna 9 becomes the first spacecraft to soft land on the Moon.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that what it says?
Yes, it does.
Do you need my glasses to see
I
this?
don't think so.
Are you sure? Let's try them on. Are you sure?
I think you need your eyes checked because that's what it says. And then a little while later, Luna 10 becomes the first satellite to orbit the Moon.
After that, Surveyor 1 soft lands on the Moon. Then, Lunar Orbiter 1 enters orbit around the Moon and takes the first picture of the Earth from that distance.
In 1967, Venera 4 transmits data about the atmosphere of Venus. And then right to 1968, where Zond 5 is launched, including a biological payload of 2 turtles, orbits the Moon and arrives back to Earth 6 days later. Then into 1969, Soyuz 4 and 5 perform the first Soviet spacecraft docking.
Alright, afterwards, Neil Armstrong and Edward Buzz become the first men to walk on the Moon, while crewmate Michael Collins is orbiting around the Moon alone. Then, Pete Conrad and Alan Beddon perform the first precision lunar landing, touching down just 600 feet from the Surveyor 3 probe that arrived 2 years earlier.
After much competition, we, the
USA
and the USSR, have decided it would be in the best interest to work together.
Woo!
This is everyone from Blue Point News wishing you a good night.
Holla!
Hi, my name is Bob, and I approve this message.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants a breast of me.
And tonight continues the amazing journey into the space race. My name is George Fluman, and my name is Tarina Kersey, and we are the newscast for the space race. I'm voting for USA. I think I'm going with Soviets, but we are together.